Okay, we'll come back into session. The next committee meeting is Lake Whatcom Reservoir and Natural Resources, chaired by Dan Hamill.
Thank you, Gene. Joining me today are Council Members Vargas and Weiss. Thank you. Joining me today are Council Members Vargas and Weiss, and we have one item here today. This is for information only. This is a report out from the Lake Whatcom Policy Group from the November 2nd, 2015 meeting. We had two items before us on November 2nd. One was the Aquatic Invasive Species Prevention Program Annual Program Review, and the other one was the brief report on the 2015 Homeowner Incentive Program. Just want to start with the AIS program. Our local program started in 2012 as a voluntary education program for boaters at Lake Whatcom. The following year, in 2013, about 3,200 boats were inspected, both at Lake Whatcom and Lake Samish. And then last year, or this year, 2015, 8,956 boats were inspected. In 2015, annual permits for motorized boats were $50 and $20 for a 3-day pass. Non-motorized boats are charged $10 for a pass. About 6,000 people visited the webpage, and 2,837 people took and passed the online education course that provides a $10 off coupon against the cost of registration. So on the motorized side, about 30% of folks actually took that course to completion. And on the non-motorized side, about 3/4 of boaters took that course and completed it. For those non-motorized boaters, that means that there's essentially no registration fee. Staffing for the program consists of 7 full-time equivalents, and the fee revenue is up from $127,040 in 2014 to $136,960 in 2015, and program expenditures to date for 2015 are $347,186. Some additional investigation was conducted in 2015 regarding Asian clam infestations in Lake Whatcom. There are 8 identified infestations of the Asian clams and 5 other possible sites in Lake Whatcom. Next year, 2016, staff will evaluate the level of service offered by the program, such as when to start and end the inspections. And this came out of this year's summer season being quite a bit longer than previous seasons, and so they'll be looking at that as well. Additionally, the staff members, the inspectors, provide services at locations such as Sudden Valley and community inspection programs and community inspection events with Western and Furwood and other sites. There was some discussion about restructuring fees to raise rates for higher risk boats, such as those registered in another area or state. County Council had a discussion regarding the cost recovery and would like the program to recover as much as possible, but there is a concern that if the fees are too high, that this might drive people into unauthorized launches. And at this point, there's not support for raising fees on the County Council. I'd like to point out that these other launches constitute 100 entry points into Lake Whatcom that we don't have inspectors at. These are private launches. This raises a real risk, I believe, to the lake's health, especially when we're talking about shared economy models such as Airbnb and VRBO houses along the lake, where the advertisements say bring your boat and you can come in and launch at this private site. So there's an issue with oversight and inspection and regulation, and staff is well aware of that and is working towards a resolution on that. There is a state invasive species council and a funding advisory committee that is looking into expanding inspection programs and revenues. The city has representation on this committee, and an update regarding proposals from this committee will be brought back to the next policy group meeting. Second item was the homeowner incentive program. There was not as much of an outreach effort going into 2015 because of depleting program funds, but still 82 new properties were interested in participating with 28 completed projects. These completed projects removed 2.2 pounds of phosphorus on an ongoing basis and infiltrated about 1 million gallons of runoff. Program staff are engaged in evaluation of prior efforts and planning for a new version of the homeowner incentive program. And the program is shifting towards targeting properties with the highest phosphorus removal potential, and owners of that property fall that fall into this category were interviewed to understand what measures would be supported and which not, and not surprisingly, in general, people wanted additional monetary incentives to be a part of this program. Policy group asked how the program monitored its results. The program uses calculated impacts of best management practices, or BMPs, from prior research with the application to the total maximum daily load model to provide expected local removal rates. A program for working with homeowners to monitor and maintain long-term project performance is being developed, and the next policy group meeting will be held November 30th, 2015 at 2:30 p.m. City of Bellingham Fireplace Room in the Municipal Court Building, 625 Halleck Street. Committee members, any additional comments, questions, observations? Michael?
I'm not a committee member, but I do have a question. The report here says that it may not be possible to increase the financial incentives. I don't understand, why was that not possible? We've actually budgeted $200,000 a year going forward for this program.
I think that might be a question for Public Works, Natural Resources. Ted Carlson.
Ted Carlson, Public Works. I think at this point it's more that the program has yet to be defined, and I'd have to go through and see how it was captured in the notes. But as we're looking at what do we want to provide as a replacement to the existing homeowner incentive program moving forward, we heard clearly, as Councilmember Hamill mentioned from the focus groups, that incentives are key. I don't think that it's a matter of that the city may not be able to increase incentives or continue to provide the incentives. It's just that we haven't defined what the program would look like yet.
Okay, just the notes say may not be possible, but it sounds like there's a more nuanced answer than that.
Okay. Other committee members? Council members? Okay. End of report, end of committee.
Thank you, Dan. We'll take